Henry Kissinger, the modern Machiavelli of global power. Henry Kissinger, who passed from the world as one of the most influential figures in modern diplomacy, occupies a unique position in the history of international affairs. Few have combined intellect, strategy, and audacity in the way he did. Kissinger was not merely a diplomat. He was a geopolitical chess master, capable of maneuvering states and ideologies as if they were pieces on a board. To understand Kissinger is to understand the living application of Machiavelli's principles to the 20th and 21st centuries. Machiavelli, writing in The Prince, emphasized the ruthless pursuit of power, the manipulation of perception, and the primacy of pragmatism over morality. Kissinger embodied these lessons in practice. From his role in negotiating the Paris Peace Accords that ended American involvement in Vietnam to his secret diplomacy in opening relations with China, Kissinger consistently demonstrated an ability to see beyond immediate crises, predicting and shaping long-term outcomes that others could not imagine. Like Machiavelli's ideal prince, he understood that leaders are often constrained by the ignorance or short-sightedness of those around them, and he used that to his advantage with extraordinary precision. Yet Kissinger was not merely a theoretician of power, he was a practitioner. While critics have called him a criminal for his involvement in controversial policies, such as the U.S. interventions in Chile or support for certain military regimes, it is difficult to deny the brilliance of his strategic thinking. In a world filled with floundering politicians and reactive leaders, Kissinger stood apart as a man who could anticipate the moves of nations as if playing a global game of chess. His decisions were guided not by ideology alone, but by a calculated realism that placed outcomes above moralistic posturing. Like Donald Trump in his own way, Kissinger often prioritized Israel in his strategic calculations, but he did so with an unmatched subtlety and sophistication. Where Trump wielded direct influence, intimidation, and spectacle, Kissinger relied on secrecy, negotiation, and the quiet shaping of events behind the scenes. He was the ultimate consigliere, advising and protecting the interests of the world's financial and political elites, including families like the Rockefellers and Rothschilds, while remaining largely invisible to the public eye. His influence extended far beyond any office he formally held, shaping not only U.S. foreign policy, but global geopolitics for decades. One of Kissinger's defining qualities was his longevity as a thinker. Even as age and infirmity limited his physical presence, his intellect remained formidable. Policymakers, scholars, and leaders continued to seek his counsel, aware that his ability to synthesize complex international dynamics was unparalleled. Unlike most political figures, whose legacies fade with time, Kissinger's strategic mind continued to dominate discussions of power long after his tenure as Secretary of State ended. In comparing Kissinger to Machiavelli, it is clear that he was a living embodiment of the Renaissance philosopher's lessons. He understood that morality is subordinate to strategy, that perception can be as powerful as force, and that the wise leader must often navigate a world of deception and danger. Yet Kissinger brought to Machiavelli's principles something uniquely modern: the capacity to operate within a globalized, hyper-connected world where information, finance, and diplomacy intersect in unprecedented ways. If Machiavelli was the theorist of power, Kissinger was its consummate practitioner. Whether the world will see another mind of Kissinger's caliber remains doubtful. His combination of intellect, ambition, subtlety, and audacity is rare in any era. In a time when politics is often dominated by spectacle, populism, and short-term thinking, the emergence of another true geopolitical strategist of Kissinger's magnitude seems unlikely. History may remember him as both a genius and a cautionary figure, a man who mastered power not for fame, but for influence, shaping the destinies of nations with the quiet, inexorable logic of a grand chess game.